Hey guys, welcome back to another issue of Building the Back to the Future DeLorean. This is going to be issue number 17, where we continue our work on the engine. Before we get started with this issue, this package came with something really special. It came with a display case for the car. This came free with the subscription. So you can see how big this car is going to be when it's done. It's going to be very good sized. And yeah, we're going to be putting it on display up on our entertainment center. So, yeah. There's that. And let's get started with this build. So we're going to be adding some engine pieces to the little transmission that we built in the last episode. So here's the directions for that. And then some more production diary stuff involving the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, which is also a 2-page article. And then some stuff on the little details in the house and such, and a few other things as well. And then a little article on Doc's clocks and the opening scene in the movie. Looks like next issue we're going to be doing some more stuff on the engine. So I'm guessing they're probably going to have us finish the engine, and then we'll be sticking it in the car, and then who knows what after that. So let's get cracking. As usual, I've got my 2 screwdrivers from issue number 1 and issue number 10, and my tweezers that I always have handy for the itty-bitty little screws that they make us use. So the first piece is going to be this one here, and it looks like this one here. So this, with the slope down according to the diagram, you can see it's a little sloped. So we're going to put that in there and screw in the back with 2 FP screws. Here's our FP screws. It looks like these are going to be very tiny as well, so I'll be using screwdriver number 1. And again, this really only goes on one way, so I'm going to be screwing these down nice and tight. Okay, there's one. Now, just for the people that are considering buying this thing, most of these pieces in this car so far have been metal. This is plastic. This is metal. Just so you're aware. And it looks like that's going to go on to... Nope, that's going to be a different piece. Looks like this one here. Yeah, that piece there. We're going to put that onto the engine that we built so far, right there, and we're going to screw that in with 2 DP screws. Well, that's a problem because we don't have any DP screws. These are the FP screws that we just used. Let's take a peek. supposed to have FP, which we have. We have AP, JM, which we also have, and 5 DMs. Which means this thing has been mismarked, because we actually have all the screws that this thing says we're supposed to have. Well, if I had to guess, those are going to be DM screws. So let's take a peek at our article here. We got 2 DPs here and 3 more here. And then it looks like that's all the screws we're going to be using. So we're going to go ahead and go with the DMs and see what happens here. Because I'm guessing that these were just mismarked. If I'm wrong, there's a chance that these won't even fit. But we'll put in one and see what we get. Okay, well, that went in perfectly. I didn't tighten it down, but it did go in perfectly. So I'm guessing that's where the error is, which means that we're going to have the same error on this next section. But we're given a lot of DM screws here, so I think we'll be okay. Sadly, we won't know until the end of the build. But this is a pretty short build, so we should be alright. Okay, got those down nice and tight, and this thing is also nice and tight. So that's a good sign. So from now on, where it says DP, we'll use the DMs and just hope that we're on the right track. Oh, next piece. Looks like this piece is going to attach to the one that we just added. Like so. It says this one also needs DP screws, so we'll be using the DM screws. If I look in my screw stash from previous issues, I've probably got a bunch of DP screws someplace. But generally, the screws they provide are the ones you're supposed to be using. So we're going to try that first. And this one's got 3. So I'm just going to kind of put them in a little bit loosely and see what we get. And if we're successful, we'll go ahead and tighten them down. But they're not going in with any difficulty, or at least no more difficulty than usual, so I would assume that the threading on these is correct. Okay, so we got all 3 of them in there now, so now I'm going to go ahead and get them tightened down. The cat seems to be starring in more and more of these YouTube videos. Okay. So, using the DM screws, again, we were successful. We'll move on to the next step. It looks like we've got this itty-bitty little piece here. And this other piece here. And according to the drawing, the corner should be facing in this direction. And the lengthy section of this should be facing towards the corner. And it looks like, according to the diagram anyway, this is just supposed to snap in. Of course, that's supposed to have happened before in a couple of past episodes, and that did not happen. So let's see what we get here. Oh, this time we got it. And that is nice and snug. You could probably hear the it snapping into place on that one. So we're good there. And then this looks like it's going to be going... Okay, so this corner needs to line up with that corner. Put that right there. And then we'll be driving a screw through the other side. An AP screw, which we actually have. Okay, this one's going to be a little tricky. So I'm going to need to hold this in place. And then drive the screw through. So we'll just do that very gently. Because this black piece is plastic, by the way. So I don't want to be too rough with it. It is in place, so now we just need to tighten it down. Okay, it's good and tight, and here's what we have so far. Now, that piece that we built earlier looks like it's going to go onto the back section with these two little pieces here facing what we have of the engine so far. It looks like it's just going to go right down on top of it like so. And then we're going to drive it in with two JM screws, which we have. This is actually the first issue where we've had mislabeled screws, which is actually kind of impressive considering all the screws that we've been dealing with. Looks like we just need two of them. Boy, these ones are really tiny. I got one on there, but it's not tightened down yet because I want a little bit of leeway on the other side. Well, it is on there, so let's see if I can get it nice and tight now. to strip out, so I'm pushing considerably harder on this one than I was on the other one to try and get it tight. Yeah, and it is still loose. There we go, now it's getting tighter. Hopefully we'll be adding some more pieces over in this area to stabilize this section. Okay, I don't think it's going to get any tighter than that, but it is nice and snug at this point. So, this is what we have of the engine so far. Almost looks like a spaceship or something like that. But it looks exactly like it does in the drawing. So we are golden. And that's going to be it for this episode. So take care, guys. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.